Call to order the council meeting of January 14th, 2020. Happy New Year, everybody. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes, Mayor, there's a quorum present for City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, Parking Authority, Joint Powers Authority.
Public comment. Any persons wishing to address the Inglewood City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Finance Authority, Park Authority, or the JPA on any of the items on today's agenda other than the public hearing may do so at this time. Hearing no comment, we'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Successor Agency members, and Housing Authority members. Dotson. Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Before we do the public hearing, consent calendar items 2 through 11.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk. Oh, yeah, the 2 through 11. Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. Item DR1, CSA 4, and P2.
Yes, Mayor. Staff report recommending approval of Amendment Number 2 to Agreement Number 18-118 with Miller Banderas LLP for broad-ranging legal advice, guidance, and representation to increase the hourly rate for attorney services from $550 an hour to $650 an hour, paralegal services from $150 an hour to $250 an hour, and add a most favored nation clause.
Move approval. Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Successor Agency members, and Parking Authority members. Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Madam Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
Yes, Mayor. The next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider an ordinance approving Zone Code Amendment 2019-002 to Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code to modify regulations of the medical enterprise overlay zone citywide.
There's staff report. Mr. Jackson, Happy New Year. I love that tie. Pull the mic a little closer, Mr. Jackson. There you go.
Mr. Mayor and Council, good morning and good afternoon and Happy New Year. I am Fred Jackson, Senior Planner, and I am here to present Zoning Code Amendment 2019-002 to modify regulations of the Medical Enterprise Overlay Zone citywide. At our Planning Commission meeting in November, a request was submitted to remove the prohibitions of commercial uses in the Medical Enterprise Overlay Zone citywide. And we have the Medical Overlay Zone, which extends from Manchester to the north all the way down to Century along Prairie. And as you can see in the map on the screen, that is our overlay area. Currently, what's allowed in the C2 general zone located in the medical overlay zone are development of hospitals, medical uses, real estate, and insurance offices. A special use permit for any new non-residential construction and exterior improvement valued over $20,000 is also required. What's prohibited are all the uses listed below on your screen. Everything from bars and nightclubs, jewelry stores, arcades, theaters, live entertainment, liquor stores, pawn stores, and the like. What is being proposed to you all, the Planning Commission recommends allowing all C2 uses in the C2 zone and removing the prohibition on the following commercial uses: bars, nightclubs, theaters, live entertainment, barbershops, beauty/nail salons, jewelry stores, shopping centers. And it would still require the use, the application of a special use permit for all commercial uses located within the overlay zone. and that is my presentation.
Okay. Madam Clerk, has the notice of this hearing been given in a time, form, and manner as required by law, and do you have the affidavit on file?
Yes, Mayor, notice has been given and affidavit is on file.
Did we receive any communications?
No communications were received, Mayor.
Okay, so are there any persons present that wish to address the council on the matter? All right, well, then we'll close the public comment portion. Are there any council questions about
Comment.
the report? Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Mr. Jackson, can you go back to that map that shows the medical enterprise overlay zone? You've identified you're looking from Manchester on the north to how far on the south?
Sorry, I did say Century. However, I believe that is Hardy.
For a point of clarification, the report that I have in my book says the medical enterprise overlay zone, it starts on East Albrevita Street on the north to the alley just south of East Hardy Street. From Prairie on the east to Larch Street on the west. So is that the overlay that we're here to address?
So the overlay is the RM zone, C2 zone properties along Prairie between Manchester to the north and Hardy Street to the
Doesn't
east.
specify, it just says.
Yeah, that's not what's on the map.
And what it references is the current overlay zone that exists.
Okay.
So, and that fits between that area. Those aren't specific streets.
Okay, thank you. I just want a point of clarity.
And so this expands the area, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. The only thing that I guess I didn't understand, you said it goes over to Larch, west of Prairie. Is that right? I thought I heard you
I don't
say
think
Larch.
I did say large.
I said it is, according to map, Mayor, that we have in our book, is South Larch Street,
Okay, okay. I just
not
wanted
even
to
to
make,
La Brea.
I was just making sure it didn't go to Larch.
No.
I was gonna say if I lived there, I'd be a little uncomfortable with that. All right, thank you very much. Are there any other council comments now that we've totally confused the issue?
So do we need to do number 2 before we make a motion?
Yes, we do.
Move approval number 2.
Madam Clerk,
Second.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mayor. Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Motion to waive further reading.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Who wants to go down in history as introducing this?
I'll introduce it, sure.
Introduced by Councilman Morales. A1. CM1.
Thank you, Mayor. No reports from the City Manager's Office.
DC1.
No comments, Mayor.
DT1. CSA2.
Approval of the minutes for the successor agency meeting held on December 10th, 2019 and December 17th, 2019.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Successor agency members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. CSA3.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution to approve the July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021 recognized obligation payment schedule for the expenditure of redevelopment property tax trust fund for submittal to the Second Supervisory District Consolidated Oversight Board for the approval consideration.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Successor agency members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the successor agency. The Housing Authority is in session H2.
Approval of the minutes for the Housing Authority meetings held on December 10th, 2019 and December 17th, 2019.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Housing Authority members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. We're going to take F1, P1, and JPA1 simultaneously. Could you call those items?
Yes, Mayor. Approval of the minutes of the Finance Authority meeting, Parking Authority meeting, and Joint Powers Authority meetings held on December 10th, 2019.
So approved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Finance Authority members, Parking Authority members, and Joint Power Authority members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Only took me a year to figure that out, Eli.
Very good. We'll take it.
Public comment. Any persons wishing to address the city council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. Okay, hearing no comment, we'll close public comment. Mayor and council remarks. Are there any remarks from the council?
Yes,
Councilman Dodson, District 1.
Mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor, along with his partners, for the commissioner breakfast. It was a wonderful affair, very well attended. Everybody had a ball. And the picture should be, oh, there we go. Basically what it is, we give our commissioners certificates and recognize them work that they do to help us out. And believe me, they do a lot. They're the backbone of what the council is able to do. So thank you very much for that. And I want to wish everybody a happy new year, because I don't want to forget that. Safe, prosperous. I want to wish you all of that. So, and I hope everyone's coming out this Saturday for the Martin Luther King celebration. I don't know if you've been or you come. It's very important that you do. I have a personal feeling for that because I was in the marches and the sit-downs. So you need to come out and feel what it's like. So if at all possible, please show up this Saturday for that. Want you to save the date of February the 8th. We'll be having our annual shredding event from 9 to 12 at the Community Center at 2901 West Manchester. That's Manchester and 7th Avenue. So come on out and get your stuff shredded, and we'll take care of it. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask you to close the meeting in memory of Roland Johnson, the brother of my assistant, Alicia Smith, a 30-year resident who passed away on Christmas Eve.
I will.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Well, George touched on it, but the MLK event this Saturday, we're going to have the initial kickoff services at Faithful Central starting at 9 a.m. Following that, we then march from the church to downtown Market Street. And then there at Market Street, there'll be other celebrations, there'll be other booths, community events. And I can tell you last year's event was, as always, a huge success. And so we're looking forward to this year. And then if you get a chance to come by, when we do the event at the church, we also have the elementary school kids that read their essays. And they don't read them from a sheet. They've memorized them. And they do such an amazing job. So just to come to hear them and then to celebrate Martin Luther King Day is special. That being said, save the date for February the 1st, a Saturday at North Park. We now have a pickleball court. I've never played pickleball, but it's kind of like tennis, but it's a smaller court. And we're going to kind of do a little grand opening of the pickleball courts starting at 10 a.m. We're going to have instructors there with the rackets and the balls to teach folks how to play pickleball. So if you're looking for something to do that morning, come on out. I want to see it. I might get my body out there to try it. Who knows if I can get convinced. That being said, look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday. I really hope you can, do what you got to do to come out and support Martin Luther King Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Padilla. Councilman Franklin?
Yes, I echo those same sentiments about the MLK event. There will be the church program, which would be at Faithful Central Tabernacle, which is off of Florence and Sepulveda. Immediately following will be a march that we will do from that location all the way through downtown Inglewood. Then we will have the Market Street set up for a variety of activities and booths, etc. So I encourage you to come out. We've been assured the weather will be good for us, but bring your umbrella just in case. And then finally, I would be remiss if I too didn't acknowledge the event that occurred regarding the commissioners, particularly the volunteer commissioners that give of their time, efforts to continue to educate the surrounding community in their respective districts about what's going on in the city of Inglewood. The mayor did an outstanding job of doing a presentation to acknowledge what the city has accomplished and where we're going. And they're part of that equation. And so they were extremely honored for their volunteer service with the breakfast, and I commend them for their volunteer service. And on that note, everyone be safe and Happy New Year.
Councilman Morales, District 3.
Thank you. First of all, touch on the commissioners' breakfast. It just gives us an annual opportunity to just bring everybody in. That's really our commissioners, our kind of our little family in each district, and just appreciate them. So it's a fun event. You know, it feels like family there. We were very fortunate to do it at our senior center, which is great. The facility's amazing. I think we're starting to really enjoy it in the way it was meant to be. So I'm very proud of everybody that I'm associated with as my commissioner. So thank you for that. And thank you, staff, who put it together. The Martin Luther King parade and event, everybody mentioned it. I also will mention it as one of our keystone events in the city of Inglewood. It's amazing. We are one of the first cities to actually make it a holiday, I think, in the country. I don't know where we stand on the line, but I know we're at the front end. And I just heard George say that he played a role and he was part of those marches originally. And I have to say that we are fortunate to have somebody that is from that generation that played a key role there and was there. And I have to tell you that this is our connection to that generation. And, you know, I know that George just said it in passing, but the more I think about it, it's a big deal that somebody's here and marches with us that marched with them. So, George, congratulations for being part of that. I know that none of us mentioned the passing of one of our employees. I don't know, is that you're going to spend some time on that, and just know that, you know, when we lose a family member, you know, we all feel it. Thank you.
I wanted to spend just a minute on the commissioners' breakfast. I contacted all the council people afterwards to tell them that I have never experienced any community event such a sense of solidarity, family, unity of purpose, pride, and I see that reflection in our public discourse now. Because I have to tell you, like, when I returned after 20-year absence from the city, I thought the council meetings were like wild then. Oh my goodness, when I came back, there was just no unity of purpose and there was no direction. And what I feel now gives me such a great sense of pride. And that being said, it is very important when we lose loved ones. And I'm definitely going to close in the name of Roland Johnson, the brother of Alicia Smith, George's assistant, 30-year resident. You know, every time we lose somebody that's lived here a long time, we lose some institutional history with them. Also going to close in the name of Eric Turner. Everybody knew him as Dobie or the Dopester. I met him when he was a teenager, and I was a policeman working these streets in his rougher years, you know. And he came on in Parks and Rec, 1989, and he had been he spent most of his time at Rogers Park, and was very well known and respected by all the young people and the people from his generation. And then he moved over to Darby, and he loved fishing. On a boat to Catalina Saturday night, I think it was, and had caught crab and fish, and he was pulling a net in with others to the boat, and he suffered an event, cardiac event, and he was not revived. He was 52. And we had a vigil for him. His friends had a vigil, I should say, at Rogers Park, and he was responsible out on the patio area just to the south of the auditorium. There's a little garden that he was responsible for, and we are going to figure out some way to name and put some recognition of him in that garden. It's just, it's very sad when you lose young ones, loved ones, particularly sad when you lose them so young. And so our HR people are working with his wife and his children to get his affairs in order. We worked with them because he passed out on sea. Then he would go to Catalina, and so we had to get his body back. And so it's a lot for a family to go through when something so unexpected happens. And so our hearts go out to Alicia, and our hearts go out to the family of Eric Turner. And we're adjourned. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Oh, okay. Well, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll? Let me reopen the council meeting only. Okay, George Dotson nominates and I appoint Lee Denon to the Parks and Rec Commission. Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Councilman George Dotson nominates and I appoint Patricia Patrick to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. And once again, we're adjourned.